Blame my ancestors.
Yeah.
Much better. Good afternoon, everyone. Please call me Karl. Von Batten is my great-grandfather, so my family is confused in many ways. But regardless of the name, I'm a black man. I'm African. I have Nigerian blood in my veins. It runs deep. It's an honor to be here. I see in front of me brave people who intend to stand up to one of the most brutal human beings I've had the unfortunate mispleasure to meet once, not too long ago. Before I begin, I just want to give you a small, antidote. Every single major movement begins with one step, with one voice. Think about the American Civil Rights Movement. Think about when Barack Obama ran, it was just one small room. Think about when President Trump first ran, it was 3 people in the room. Size means nothing in the beginning. It means everything in the end. Every great journey begins with one step. Do not forget that. Do not lose hope. You are blessed by God to do amazing stuff, and you're in this room now. And by God's grace, your grandkids will remember this day as a day Kagame was fired. So, small joke. So I was speaking to a member of Congress about Kagame, and we're trying to get him sanctioned. And by the way, no one likes him in Congress. And I won't mention who this member of Congress is. And he says, every time I open my door, I see Rwanda's lobbyists every single day. They might be extremely evil people, but they're very effective. They understand the art of lobbying. They understand the art of Washington, D.C. The Rwandan embassy has events almost every single week at US colleges, and they target the kids who they believe will one day go into government. They're making friends. And those friends have protected them for a long time. Which is why to get him sanctioned was like pulling teeth, because his friends were always blocking things and doing things. He's an evil, smart genius, but he's still evil no matter what. And so, another story again, speaking to a different member of Congress about, Rwanda and why we have to sanction them. And he told me that every time you bring up the killings and the horrible murders that he's doing to his own people and to also the poor Congolese, they always say, in 1994, we had the genocide. We understand. We're sorry about that. But the killings, in 1994, we had the genocide. This man has used the debt of people to cover his, pardon my French, his bottom. It's an excuse for everything. Kagame will murder an entire family, and he would say, stop killing people. And he would say, in 1994, we had the genocide. It's stupid. It's enough. We've had enough of this nonsense. It's enough. I remember telling someone in Mar-a-Lago that this guy wins every election with 99.9% of the vote. And they were shocked. There's a belief that the US government knows everything. No, it doesn't. It's large. There's problems around the world. People want help. They're only human beings. And so you have to inform them of what's going on. You have to engage. You have to call them. Your biggest strength is you. Your biggest strength is your people. Every one of you, your cousin, your friend who is an American citizen, is a lobbyist. Have them call their member of Congress and demand action. You have to get Congress to get tired of you. When they say stop calling, we'll do something. Till you will do that, nothing's going to happen. So again, is your biggest ambassadors are your fellow Rwandans who are in the United States of America. It's your power. It's your superpower. I truly believe that God, thus, before you're born, your life is planned out. It's a belief of mine. God has seen your life and has planned it out for you. You all did not come to this great country for yourself. You came for a mission. God is going to use you to change Rwanda, to change Africa. Before you were born, you were destined to be in this room with this mission. Let that be your powerful, shining armor around you as you push to change your country of your home bird. We are all proud Americans. You can tell I wasn't born in Chicago. We're all immigrants. We're all proud Americans, but we're also proud Africans. And there's no way that as a black man in this country, I can see my African brothers and sisters get murdered in Rwanda and keep quiet, get murdered in Ghana and keep quiet, get murdered in Nigeria and keep quiet. It's a sin against man and God to keep quiet when people are starving and getting killed. So I say again, you are blessed by God to do great stuff. Do not forget that. You're on a mission. Grow this union, grow this movement, grow the people. It's a movement. It's not politics. It's a movement. I remember the first time I began to reach out to you guys. Because again, I was in Congress talking about Kagame again. And the question I get all the time is, so Karl, if we remove this guy, who replaces him? Because again, in the US, it's self-interest. They don't want a crazy person to replace him. And so they, the de facto person stays there. The devil we know is better than the devil we do not know. It's in logic. So your mission is to ensure that Congress knows who you are. Everyone here is a leader. Even the future one in Congress and Parliament, in office as ambassador, everyone is a leader. Let them know your name. Let them cry about your name because you're going to give them hell. Kagame should be really, really scared. Because again, I no, he's messed up. I remember, and again, your movement is not going to be perfect. You're going to fight. You're going to have arguments because we are flawed human beings. That's what we are. But through that argument and through that conflict, you will build something that will withstand the force of Kagame. The arguments you have in here, it's nothing compared to what Kagame is going to unleash. Nothing. Let this growth you're going through be your building blocks. Let it strengthen you. Let every child in Rwanda know that hope is coming. Let every grandmother know that hope is coming. Let every father know that hope is coming. It might be slow. It's normally slow, but it's coming. And by God's grace, it's going to happen. There's something that makes me laugh all the time about Kagame, and I hope he sees this. The man is a coward. I watch his tapes on YouTube, and it's bravado. He's like, no, no. But when he comes here, he begs. This is not joking. They beg. They beg for everything. Money this. It's like they beg. There is no respect for this man in Congress. He's a paper tiger. And so when you see the man on television being condescending to his own ministers, and then you see him here, like, this is two different people. Unrelated people. One is from Denmark, one is Swedish. Not even the same people. He begs. His people begs. And when I know, and I've seen his ambassador, and they're great people, doing their job. I've met the ambassador, and I remember in Jesse Jackson's funeral in Chicago, I was sat here, and they were sat there, and they had different ambassadors in front of me, and they kept looking at me and giving me evil eyes, and I was trying to look anywhere but them. But I know it's not their fault. They're just doing their job. They see me and they see you and say, these are traitors. They hate Rwanda. You can't blame them. They're just doing their jobs. They're afraid. Your job is to convince them to join this revolution. There is no enemy here. All Rwandans, no matter what your tribe is, what your religion is, what your gender is, you're all the same. There's only one enemy, and that's Kagame. Do not fight your people. Fight the enemy within. Fight Kagame. He is the target. He has to go. And thank God we have President Trump. I'm very biased. I love the guy. My firm is a Republican firm. We're very proud about it. We work with Democrats. My wife is a Democrat. She's going to kill me for saying this. And I do identify with many ideas that my friends on the other side have. They're not bad people. We just disagree. We're all Americans. And the same concept is the same in Rwanda. You're all Rwandese. You're the same people. You disagree? That's fine. Because it's no more about us. It's about our kids, our grandkids, those who have not been born yet. Do we allow them to be born in bondage by a bastard, pardon my French, who has killed millions, stolen millions? It would be a sin against God and man to allow this to happen. My role here is simply to help in any way I can help, to advise when I can advise, to open any door God allows me to open for you. But again, like I said, I believe everything is destined by God, and to have President Trump as a president right now is God's blessing in the sense that he's the only one who had the strength to sanction Kagame. Now, I love Barack Obama. I think he's the most inspirational American president we ever had. Great guy, but he had no grit. He had no grit. Now, Biden, Papa Joe, great guy. I called him Papa Joe. That's what we called him. You know, Papa Joe. Papa Joe was a great guy. No, Papa Joe. He used to like to have his shrimp at Old Ebbitt. He fell sick. He was not really there to, and they had all these young kids who had no clue about foreign policies, who had this annoying mantra called African solutions, African problems for African solutions, which means let the Africans fix their problem. I understand that. But this country was blessed to be the voice of the weak and the voice of the powerless. We cannot watch people anywhere in the world suffer and keep quiet. God will not forgive us for that. And so President Trump was, I was on the train heading to Mar-a-Lago when Felix and Kagame were in the White House discussing. And President Trump thought that they were friends till he said, when I saw them in the room arguing, like, wow, what's going on here? But he knew from that second that Kagame was a snake. The key about President Trump is he can smell a rat a mile away. And he smelled a big one. a tall, yeah, a big one on that day in the Oval Office. And and thank God that Felix had the gumption not to, try to be nice to Kagame. He was forceful. He was a president. And I remember on the train, and I was watching on YouTube, and I remember seeing when Kagame came on stage and said, "If this deal doesn't work, it's not his fault." At that second, I knew he had no intention to honor the Washington Accord. He had no intention. His family lives in big homes. They are in the US. His son went to West Point. They're rich. They live really well, while people are suffering back in Rwanda. He claims to make what, $85,000 a year? Oh, well, we do know that's a lie because the last report by Yahoo with news a few years ago said he's worth about $1 billion. Why do we have the war in Eastern Congo? Because they're stealing resources from their fellow African brothers. Rwanda exports minerals they don't have. So everyone knows what's going on here. Everyone knows that he's a criminal. But only President Trump had the balls, pardon my French, I'm sorry, to take the fight to him and say, "No, we're going to sanction you. And if you don't change your way, you're going to regret it." Kagame can't come to the US right now. I hope you don't know that. He needs a special permission to come. We're going to make that man regret his life. That's my plan. We're going to make sure he regrets every moment of his life. I do not believe he won the election freely and fair because for some odd reason, every time he runs, the person who is his opponent gets jailed a few months before election day. And he wins by 99.9% of the vote. Let that stick in your head. 99.9% of the vote, which means the opposition party voted for him. It's impossible. It's really impossible. I'm sure in heaven, you don't even get 99.9% of the vote. I mean, it's like, hey, it's impossible. So we know what he's doing. And so there are two ways, in my point of view, to get him out. Now, I prefer the best one, which is the election. We build a strong movement here with US backing, with EU backing, have people go on the ground, have election monitors on the ground, watch the election, make it very clear to him you steal the election, there'll be consequences. We have done this before. Barack did this to Goodluck in 2014 in Nigeria, saying, "Don't steal it." It can be done. I hope for that one. I hope we have a situation where we have election. Now, the second option is I do not believe this man is legit. He stole the election. He's not the president, and so he has no mandate. He has no mandate. And so when you have no mandate, what the hell are you doing there being president? We intend to squeeze him really hard in the sense that, so right now, his troops are sanctioned. They can't use any money. We're going to squeeze his money. I'm going to push the White House and Congress to keep squeezing that money. And the key about Kagame, I think it now hits him that Trump is giving him a long rope to hang himself. Because the one thing that, he was so shocked he got sanctioned. He was so surprised because he has powerful friends in Congress and they did not expect this to happen. And if you follow our Twitter page, you can see how we got there. And he was very surprised from that. So again, I want to say that you guys should please do not feel it's a hard burden. It's not going to be easy. You have a long road ahead of you. I won't lie to you, it's going to be hard. But nothing good comes from laziness. Nothing good comes easy. Nothing that lasts a lifetime comes easy. Your number one mission right now is recruitment. recruit people to your side, turn everyone into an ambassador. Texas, New York, California, Ohio, Wisconsin, call your member of Congress, call your senators, and hound them. We'll give you a script. Here's your ask. You must have an ask. Use U.S. law, the Alien Tort Statute or the Alien Tort Act. Sue. Use the court systems. There are so many ways you can put pressure on Kagame. He has to feel the power of the U.S. government on his neck. And again, to his generals and to his ministers and to all the people who enable him to do this, we know you have money in the US or in London or in Paris or somewhere. We know you have homes in London and Paris. There are US laws that we can seize them because you are, I mean, human rights violation. I mean, we can long up the list. So the US government has a bag of tricks they're going to start hitting him with. So my advice to you people who enable this criminal is watch your back. Unless you change your ways and help change this government and help bring free and fair elections to Rwanda and help stop the killings of innocent people in Rwanda and also in DRC, every money you've stolen will be taken from you. Because I've never seen a general who makes $1 million a month, but they do exist in Africa for some odd reason. Your strength is your people. Your strength is you. Your strength is God's will and God's blessing. So may the blessing of God be with you as you go through this strong fight. Do not be afraid to fight back. Do not be afraid to punch hard. And I will say, think of people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, what they went through. We as Black people can walk down the street in America because people bled and died and suffered for that. Embrace that to free your people from this criminal. But again, is use the law, use Congress to pressure him. And by God's grace, he's done.